Good morning and welcome to this edition of the ICC Hour being presented by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com. I'm Adam Gore, the Sports Information Director and Director of Media Relations here at ICC, and we've got a big show for you today. We've got Ricky Dale Murphy of Tommy Morgan Realtor coming in with college students. They're getting closer to that age as young adults that will maybe start looking for their first house to purchase. So Ricky Dale and I sat down and talked in depth about some of the things that you need to know before even thinking about buying a house, and then kind of touched on the process of going through buying a house, some of the minor details that sometimes people forget about, some of the major details that you need to think about in advance as well, including talking about getting your credit score right, saving up money for a down payment, and things like that. So you want to be sure and stay tuned for that show today. We'll also talk with ICC softball coach Andy Kirk about the upcoming season that starts on not June, my goodness, I'm already thinking that far ahead. January 31st, so it'll be here before we know it. And then we'll also talk with Rick Collier about the upcoming baseball season as well. Of course, both baseball and softball winning the conference championship last year, and they'll be looking to defend that crown this year as well. So as I said, we've got a jam-packed show, so let's get to it. But before we do that, let's hear a few words from our sponsors, including Renaissance Bank, as we'll be back with more of the ICC Hour right after this. At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
The Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this.
Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order.
That's home. They're just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I can go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour. I'm Adam Gore, joined by Ricky Murphy, and bringing Ricky in, a good friend of mine. Have been for a while. Ricky, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you letting me come in and talk to you today.
All right, so what we're going to do this week, for college students, they're starting to become that age where they're getting close to thinking about purchasing a house. And there's people out there right now as well who could be thinking about buying a house. So we're going to talk about the early stages of buying a house. Now, Ricky, tell everybody where you work and kind of your expertise on this.
Yeah, hey, so I work for Tommy Morgan Realtors in Tupelo. Been there about 6 months. I've been in real estate for about 2 years now. Began my real estate career as a listing coordinator. Got licensed, was able to hang around some of the best and brightest in all of North Mississippi. And so now doing it on my own, surrounded by all the experience that I get surrounded by in Tommy Morgan's office, I bring all that to the table in helping especially first-time home buyers or those buyers that are ready to move up in-house.
All right, so I've never purchased a home, so you're going to talk to me like a first-time buyer because that's what I would be if I was looking right now. And also keep in mind for the financial side for college students how they can start saving. So what is going to be the first thing I need to do as a first-time buyer? What do I need to keep in mind?
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to sit down and have what I call a buyer consultation. That is not something that everybody does, but I want to sit down with you and hear your hopes, your dreams, your fantasies, whatever it is. Let's get all that down and figure out, okay, what kind of home are we looking for? Some people want to be in the city. Some people want to be in the county. Some people want a pool. Some people never want a pool. Let's figure out what you want. As we're having that conversation together, we're going to build a little bit of rapport. You're going to get to trust me. I'm going to get a feel for you. We need to find a lender. Lots of people feel like that lender step is something that, well, let's find a house and then figure that out. No, we want to find a lender now because we may have to make some adjustments. Well, how much can we afford in-house? Do we have a ding on our credit report? What is it that we need to be taken care of over the next 2 or 3 months while we're looking so that when we find it, we can pull the trigger and make this thing happen? So especially now, if we're talking to college students, you need to begin putting away some money, thinking about your debt to income ratio. What that means is if you're working a $10 an hour job, but you've got 5 credit cards and a car payment and all these things, even if your credit score is an 800, if you've only got $50 available a month because of your debt to income ratio, you're going to have a problem. That's more in the lender side of things. That's me giving a real basic. I'm not a lender. Work with lots of good ones that I can recommend, but that's more along the lines of the conversation they would be having with us. And real estate agents, we work with lenders every day, so we can kind of look at your personality and look at your needs. Different lenders have different programs. If you've got 20% down and an 800 credit score, well, then I can send you to lender A. If you are struggling with credit score and you got a little bit of student loans or maybe you don't have a down payment, I may send you to lender B. That's something I can figure out for you. But that's the first step is making sure we can either borrow the money or how do we get where we need to go to be able to borrow the money.
Absolutely. And this is why, and of course, Brandon Speck, our buddy of ours, he used to work in what you do now. But this is why you need a real estate agent because they take care of those little things that I would have never thought about that, the difference in lenders. But that's the reason why you need an agent to help you and guide you along the way.
Yeah, so many people that we, especially HGTV, you see what the real estate agent's job is. Per HGTV is we meet you, we open the door, we say, hey, look how pretty this is, do you want to buy it? And that's all you see. Our job is way less about actually showing you the house and happens after the offer. So there's tons of paperwork that has to happen. There's tons of attorneys and appraisals. We have inspections. We have contingencies. So you don't want to be stuck in a house if you are writing an offer on a house. Everything looks good. It looks wonderful. You get almost to the closing date and find out you've got termites or find out that the wiring in the house won't pass inspection and appraisal. We can make it to where at that point you're not stuck yet. But those are things that we're trained to look for and trained to do that you may not know. We can also get with your lender, and one of the biggest compliments that I can get is for someone to get to the end of it and say, this was the easiest thing I've ever done. I want you to sign your name. I want you to give me a check. I want you to give me permission to talk to whoever I need to talk to, and then I want you to go home. I want to get you keys in about the next 21 to 45 days, depending on what's going on. And we do that through relationships that we have with lenders and attorneys, appraisers, home inspectors. Nobody wants you to not get your house. Our job is to get you into your home. And just kind of as a pulling back the curtain a little bit, if you don't get in your home, I don't get paid.
Right.
I have a strong interest in getting you into your house. But I also have to get you in something that is a good deal for you. You've got to be able to afford it. It's got to be something you want. You can't hate your house. You have to go there every day. And so people like Spec, that I try to use a good bit. He is someone that understands both sides of the business.
Right.
And, that's a good marriage there between someone that maybe they don't know anything about. They've never done this before, and being able to use someone that understands both sides of the business.
Right, and that's something like a car salesman, a real estate agent. Old school days, they had a bad rep. Right. But you are in the business of making sure you're fulfilling people's dreams, because here's the thing. You buy a house, make a payment, don't make a payment, don't make a payment, don't make a payment. Well, that also counts on you as well.
Yeah. So if I sell 10 houses in the next month, and in the next 6 months, 8 of those have been foreclosed on, that's bad business.
Yeah.
That doesn't look real good. We're also in a review economy. Mm-hmm. So I need my clients to be able to go onto Facebook, onto Google, onto Yelp, onto whatever it is that they're using, and say, this guy rocked it out. Yeah. These were the conditions I had. This was the money I had to spend. My payment's less than I thought it would be. The house is more than I thought it would be. When I needed him, he was there. I need that review because somebody that's never done this before may very well just go Google realtors in North Mississippi, and the 5-star is going to get more attention than the 2-star. Now, sometimes that's not necessarily the most fair way to do it, but it is the way that it's done.
It's the nature of the beast.
Absolutely.
Well, we're talking with Ricky Murphy, talking about the early stages of buying houses. But before we continue on with the conversation, real quick, we're going to step away. We've got an event coming up at ICC on February the 3rd. I had a chance to talk with Michael Upton, so we'll find out more about the Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night coming up on February the 3rd. Now talking with Michael Upton about a big event coming up at ICC on February the 3rd. And Michael, let you tell everybody about it.
Thank you, Adam. On February 3rd, at the night of the basketball games against the Northeast Tigers, we're having a Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night at the game.
All right, so that's everybody that's a member of the Alumni Association, obviously Indian Club as well. So they get in free. Have access to hospitality rooms, especially for them, and get to mix and mingle with some of the coaches. So why is an event like this important for you guys?
Well, it's a way for us to say thank you for the people who support the college by being Alumni Association members and support our student athletes through the Indian Club. We just want to say thank you and get a chance to visit with you. We want you to come out, support our teams that night, and get a chance to meet some of the coaches that you support as well.
All right, so it starts at 5 and goes till 8, so pretty much get the full length of the game. We're playing Northeast, so you want to come out and cheer the good guys and the girls to victory there on that as well. So just talk about, real quick, let's break it down one by one. We'll start with the Alumni Association. A lot of unique perks and benefits for joining the Alumni Association.
Yes, we are actually in the process right now of expanding some of those perks. You get publications each year that let you know and the updates of things that are going on with the Alumni Association, discount programs, different places, free admission to all ICC athletic events. And as I said, we are currently in the process of working on a few that we're negotiating to provide some added benefits to those who support it. And of course, the funds that are raised from those Alumni Association dues are used by our alumni board to benefit our students here at the college as well.
Absolutely. That's what it all goes back to, is benefiting those students and also student athletes as well. And that's where the Indian Club comes in play, is a great way to give back if you're a former student athlete to the programs that you came through.
Exactly. Or even if you weren't a former student athlete and you just want to support a particular program that you have great interest in, by giving to the Indian Club, you can give generally and help all the athletic department, or you can give to specific sports it allows those coaches and those programs to have additional resources to make the program better for those student athletes, whether it's to provide them for necessary equipment or help with travel costs, or maybe even to make sure we have the best we can to help them with their academic studies. It's all about supporting the students.
Absolutely. Now, we talked with you earlier in the year along with Mr. Jim, and you guys have been doing a great job. What is the biggest takeaway you've had so far in your new role here at the college?
Well, I would say it is wonderfully welcoming to know how many people are involved. I came in not knowing, how many people were involved as Alumni Association members, Indian Club members, donors, and to see how many of our alums and even non-alums who support our programs as well has been very surprising and welcoming. And the growth, we've had a lot of new scholarships have been established this past semester, and we're working on several more. So the momentum that we've got going is really nice.
All right, so say there's somebody out there right now that would be interested in maybe establishing a scholarship in memory of someone or donating to a current scholarship as well. How can they go about getting in touch with you guys?
They can call our office here at 662-862-8039, or they can email me, maupton@iccms.edu, and we'd be glad to talk with you and share with you information how scholarships can be started, the different types of scholarships we have, also academic support funds, other ways of supporting programs. If a scholarship is not the thing you're most interested in, we can find ways to help you help ICC.
And then, of course, you don't work alone. You got two great individuals that work with you here in this department. So let's just talk about Tilda and Jim and all the great work they do as well.
Yes, they do wonderful work and have been so welcoming to me since I got here this past semester. Jim is our director of the foundation, and he spends so much time working with our scholarship donors, our scholarship recipients, making sure that things are really lined up perfectly there, and that the funds are supporting the students properly, and that we're letting our donors know who they're helping and how it's helping them, and just keeping those relationships going very strong. And Ms. Tilda is the lifeblood of our operation here. She manages our systems, our records, our bookkeeping for the foundation, and just really keeps things flowing on a day-to-day basis and lets me know where I'm supposed to be.
And so, in other words, she's got her hands full.
Amen.
All right, so once again, that event coming up on February the 3rd is the Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night. If you're not a member, you can join now, but if not, you guys also be taking membership drive that night?
Exactly. This event, while designated for our current members of those two groups, is open to the public if you want to join. If you're not sure if you're a member or not, we will have lists to double check, but we'll have the opportunity to join the Alumni Association or to join the Indian Club that night and come on in, visit with us, and support ICC students.
And we'll have more information available on letsgoicc.com as well as our Twitter pages. Michael, anything else you want to add before we cut you loose, man?
We appreciate everyone's support. Come on out on February 3rd.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour. We're talking with, I'm going to call you Ricky Dale because that's what I've always called you.
Well, it's been odd you calling me Ricky and that sort of thing. I always know how long someone has known me by what they call me. If they call me Ricky, You probably met me after my
Yeah.
ICC years.
Right.
I guess a little bit of a shameless plug.
Yeah.
I loved it here
Nice.
at Itawamba Community College. But if you met me after ICC,
Yeah.
I'm probably Ricky. If
Yeah.
you met me prior to or as a part of people who have known me prior to,
Right.
I'm probably Ricky Dale.
Yeah. So I've been trying to refer to you as Ricky because I'm sure that's what you go by in the work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
most of
Yeah.
my colleagues would know me as Ricky, but a lot of people maybe listening to this morning may not connect Ricky, but you may hear Ricky Dale's on the radio and be like, oh.
Yeah, that's who that is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we talked about getting the lender, getting everything set up financially, to have a credit report, keep an eye on it, save up some money to have a good down payment. All right, so let's talk about the steps of actually buying a house. Take me through those.
Okay, so I kind of made a shot at HGTV that all we do is open a house, but hey, part of the fun is we get to go open the door. We get to look around at the house, see what it is that you like. At the point that you fall in love, and let me just say, I apologize. I don't know if I said this at the beginning or not, but even if I did, it's worth it. It bears repeating. You're not looking for your forever home. You are looking for your next 5 to 10 year home, depending on what stage of life you're in. If you are in the retiree age, you may be looking for your forever home. If you are a student here at ICC, you're looking for the house that's going to get you through possible marriage, possibly your first child, could even hold you into your second child. Then you're probably going to look for another one. And then at that point, maybe you grew a family, they got older, they moved up, your children moved off to college, now you're wanting to downsize. We're not looking for your forever home. We're looking for what you can afford and what you like right now, and that will fit your needs. So we actually do get to go shopping. That's kind of fun. We get to look and see and color schemes and open floor plans or split floor plan. There's all this kind of stuff. So we actually go look at the houses. You're going to eventually fall in love with one. So if you fall in love with the first house, it's okay to stop. It really is okay to stop looking. You don't need to see 25 houses. Actually, I'm going to discourage you from looking at every house on the market. But it's okay to go look at 4 or 5 houses. At that point, we're going to write an offer. If the house, and just to use round numbers, if the house is listed for $100,000, we may come in and say, "Hey, tell you what, we'll offer you $92,000." There's a negotiation here. Nothing says that the person has to come down. It's all they may be firm on their price. You never know someone's motivation. They may need to get rid of it and will accept something. But that's part of what we do is just fill each other out. We take care of the negotiations for you. Inside of those negotiations, we may do things like ask the seller to pay your closing costs if you can't come up with that, or we may ask them to repair a roof. We may ask them to fix a fence. Just depending on your needs and the needs of the home, we will enter into some negotiations both on price and condition of the home. There may be something wrong with the home that is not really all that big of a deal to you, but you would like something done. We might be able to get a concession, some kind of allowance, so to speak, for you to be able to take care of that. At that point, you are kind of done for a little while as a buyer. Behind the scenes, we have title work going on with the attorney. They're making sure that, hey, the person selling you this house really can sell you this house. Do they legally own this house? And there have been instances, more than one, where so-and-so was selling a house with an acre of land, and the truth is they own like a quarter acre. They didn't know it. They weren't being dishonest, but going back and checking things out, we've had to go back and fix some things. So you've got an attorney doing a lot of title work. You've got lenders that are having appraisals done. So if a lender gives you $100,000 for a house, they have to make sure that the house is actually worth $100,000. So there's appraisals being done. A lot of moving parts are happening right now, which is part of what a real estate agent does. We make sure that we are hitting those deadlines and communicating to you. We try to get everything done within at least 30 days. Sometimes it's 45. But there are delays. There's always delays that we can't help and that you can't help. And so we want to at least keep you aware that, hey, don't start packing your bags yet. Or you may be where you are for an extra week or two. We're having a delay. Just because there's a delay doesn't mean that you're losing the house or that's a big deal. Stay calm. Everybody breathe. But we may need to step back and just readjust deadlines and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what's happening at that point. You find a house, you like it, you make an offer, you negotiate it out, lots of moving parts, you go home and wait on me to call and say, hey, it's time to pack your bags.
All right, so in that house, in the buying process that we're in right now, or the searching process, what are some of the key questions or maybe key things that people see are often asked in this stage.
Okay, so one of the things is, how much is my payment going to be? That's going to be a big one. And really, that's your lender. I'm going to refer you to your lender every time. There's actually a piece of paper that I have you sign where I state, I'm not a lender, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a plumber, I'm not an appraiser, I'm none of these things. I'm just a real estate agent. I can tell you, will the house bring X amount of dollars on the market?
Right.
And I can walk around with you and say, hey, it looks like your air conditioning unit's old, that sort of thing. But things of how much is this going to be, I'm going to refer you to your lender, and they're going to be able to give you an idea, because everybody's is going to be a little bit different with interest rates, with credit scores, down payments. So you need to definitely talk to them, but that's why we introduced you to your lender way back before we ever went looking, so that we could kind of know what your payment was going to be. They want to know, is the roof okay? Is the air conditioning unit okay? The big dollar items that could go wrong. So we're going to have a home inspection done. I'm going to encourage every one of my clients to get a home inspection. They cost you about $350, $400, somewhere in that range, depending on the inspector that you use. But that is someone that's going to walk through this house and is going to give you a detailed report of, hey, this is a big deal, this isn't a big deal, be aware of it, that kind of thing. Yeah. There are some deal breakers. You have to have what's known as a ground fault outlet installed within 6 feet of water. Most appraisals are going to make you do that. It's not a big deal. It's like a $20 fix. Right. So, don't panic on that. One that really sounds real bad is if you get a USDA loan, which is most of the time a real popular one for people just getting started, because you may not have to put any kind of money down, but there's some guidelines around it. One of them is that you can't have any wood rot. Well, wood rot sounds awful. Like, you just heard that and you thought, oh, well, you mean the house is rotten. Yeah. It's really not that big of a fix. I mean, you just remove a board and replace a board and put a little paint on it. It's not that big a deal, but those key words, they're kind of trigger words that scare people. Yeah. And so you need somebody that's coming alongside of you saying, hey, it's not that big a deal, let me help you out with that. Every once in a while you do come across big deals, foundation issues. Those can be big deals, but even those sometimes can be fixed and addressed. Right. So is the house in good condition? Resale value is always somebody's big question, especially now that I've said we're not looking for our forever home. Right. I need to know that I can resell it. Depending on your location, how much you gave for the house to start with, and the overall outlook of the area, we can give you an outlook. Now, that's all it is. If somebody in the world tries to break stupid and throw a missile at somebody, and the economy may struggle a little more than what it currently is. Yeah. Outlook right now is fantastic for North Mississippi, which is great for us. We're doing better and are a step ahead of other areas in Mississippi and even in the southeast region. So we're doing really, really well. So your outlook here is pretty positive. If you bought a house right now for $100,000, you kept up with the updates and the maintenance, you would probably at least get your money back and probably see some kind of return to be able to put down a down payment on a future home.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
You live life on your own terms. You won't be told what you can't do. And we're here to back you. From the boardroom to the big stage, Renaissance Bank supports women striving for success. Because greatness isn't held to anyone's expectations, except yours. So if anyone says you can't, prove them wrong. Rise with Renaissance, supporting women and the communities they influence every day.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I can go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast Games, food and drinks will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039. All right, so we found the house. We like the house. We've got it inspected. Everything's good to go. Now what?
All right, so now everything's good to go. We're going to go to an attorney's office. We're going to sign the actual legal paperwork. The sellers are going to come in. They're going to sign, a small stack of papers. They're going to get a check, and we're going to wish them well. You and I are going to stick around, and we're going to sign what looks like an encyclopedia full of papers. And It says everything from I promise to pay back the money to this is my address to I'm not a terrorist.
Right.
That's an actual form that you sign, is you declaring you're not a terrorist. So we'll do that. We'll give you the keys. We'll take a cute picture for Facebook, and then you go into your home. You will move in, and now it is yours. I keep in contact with you at least for the next year. So if you buy a home in December, in January, you can't do what's called homestead exemption until the following tax year. So if you buy in January 2020, in January 2021, you can get a homestead exemption tax, and that lowers your tax liability. That's important if you buy a home from someone that hasn't been living in the home. If you, Adam, are selling a house, you're currently living in it, and you have it, you have the homestead exemption, and I come and buy it from you, that carries through for me until the next year. If you miss this step, if you don't go to the courthouse and get your homestead exemption, your taxes could as much as double.
Wow.
And that could add several $100s per month to your payment. So this is a pretty big deal. And so that's the reason I say that I stay in contact with you at least through the next year, because you're going to be getting reminders from me that, hey, you bought a house from me this year. Don't forget to do this. Otherwise, hey, you take your deed that you get from the attorney's office. You go see Tom Bibby Electric, you go see your water company, you see that, you get everything turned on, and then you turn HGTV back on and you decorate this thing the way you want it, and you make this house your home. You personalize it and paint it and do whatever it is that you want to do to it. It's yours now.
And one of the most rewarding part of your jobs, and we're talking to Ricky Dale Murphy working about buying a house, something that college students are getting ready to do in the near future. One of the most rewarding part of your jobs is having to be that person that helped them get their home and establish themselves. To me, that's just a really good vibe.
Yeah, so that's one of the best parts of my job, especially if someone thought they couldn't.
Right.
It's taking that person that contacted you saying, hey, do you know about any rentals? And saying, well, maybe I do. I'm not saying I don't know about any, but saying, hey, have you thought about buying? Well, I don't think I could. Would you want to talk to a lender? Maybe we can. Figuring out that you can buy it, them taking that pride, going, hey, this is mine. I can do with it what I want to with it now. Having that pride and seeing them do something maybe they didn't think that they could do. It's also seeing them, hey, this is my home. I did something, because it's just kind of part of the American dream, right? That you have home ownership. So seeing somebody take that step into home ownership, especially that young couple who, hey, they just added to their family. Now they have a little pride in it. Maybe it's that person who this is something they didn't think they could do. They thought they were a lifetime renter, and they were okay with it, and now they're like, my money's doing something for me now. Right. Yeah, it seems somebody takes something, especially if they are able to take it and make it their own.
Right.
Put their personality into it, put their style into it, and see them just kind of grow it. And that's where you get your return on investment too. We were talking a little bit earlier about your resale value. The more of that kind of thing that you can do for a home, you're just going to get your money back.
Right.
But it's definitely it's a really cool feeling to hand someone keys to a house and say, hey, this is your home now.
Well, if there's somebody out there right now that's looking for their home, how can they contact you and you help them?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I work at Tommy Morgan Realtors in Tupelo. You can contact me there either through my cell phone, 662-321-9824. That is with me 24 hours a day. Just ask my family. Or through my office number, 662-842-3844. And you can ask for Ricky, and we would definitely love to help you find a home. And if you happen to be listening and you're thinking about selling your home, just as this is more or less for buyers today, but if you're selling, just kind of a current market situation where way more buyers out there right now than there are sellers, and so it's a really good time to get your house on the market.
Awesome. Well, you talked about it. You went to school here at ICC.
Yes.
Any special memories from back in your ICC days?
Absolutely. The best people I know went to school right here, and I tell people I started as a music major. I was awful. Thank you to the professors that were willing to give me that truth that I needed to hear. And on your staff, of course, Lee Adams, CJ Adams, got to meet a lot of those guys, met some of the best people that I still know in my life here at ICC, basically through the Wesley Foundation. Just to give that real quick story, we were having an intramural football game, and we had gotten a team together, and we decided to go to the Wesley Foundation. That I didn't know what the Wesley Foundation was, but I knew they were having red beans and rice, and I was hungry, and so we went and had red beans and rice and went and played a intramural football game afterwards. We were sick, but it was good times, man.
Yes.
Loved ICC, always will. Member of the All-American Marching Band here, and ICC's best time of my life.
Well, Ricky Dale, appreciate you taking time to talk to us today, and hey, we'll come back one day and talk about selling houses.
There we go.
All right, we'll be back more with the ICC Hour presented by Renaissance Bank right after this. At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Zelle is the new way to move money, and it's already included inside your Renaissance Bank mobile app. No additional downloads, no additional signups. Whether you're paying a friend back for pizza or chipping in for gas, Zelle lets you send money quickly to almost anyone in your contacts. Here's how it works. Open the Renaissance app, log in, and tap the blue button with the white plus sign on it and select Zelle. Choose Send, Request, or Split. Pick who you want to exchange money with, either from your contacts or by entering a phone number or email. Choose the account you want to pay with and select an amount. Review and confirm. To stay organized, you can even include a short description of what each payment is for. That's it. Your money is on the move. Most payments take place in just minutes. No need to download another app. It all happens inside here. Balance the bill, split the check, and pay your way with Zelle. To learn more about Zelle, visit RenaissanceBank.com or download the Renaissance Bank mobile app to start using Zelle today. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni. All at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast games, food and drinks will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039. And welcome back to the ICC Hour. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to tune in here. As always, the ICC Hour being presented by Renaissance Bank. We're going to take a look at an ICC spotlight right now. We're going to shine that spotlight on the reigning and defending MACJC champion softball and baseball teams. Lee Adams had a chance to catch up with Coach Andy Kirk to talk about the upcoming season, which starts on January the 31st here in Fulton against Jackson State Community College out of Tennessee. And then we'll wrap up the show talking with Coach Rick Collier about the start of their season as well. That's on February the 4th. And I believe that is going to be against Southwest Tennessee Community College, also right here in Fulton. So let's go to those interviews now here on the ICC Hour.
Well, Coach, we're about a month away from the season kicking off on January 31st. Just, coming off a historic season, 40-16-1 last year, made the national tournament, won the conference tournament, and runner-up in region there. Just, we know the conference is always stacked. Just talk a little about that non-conference schedule that you got that's going to start the season.
Yeah, coming up, being in junior college, we always have a half of a new team every year. And like I said, we had a great run last year, lost some really good sophomores, got some new players in, got some veterans back. But we're looking at that preseason conference just to get us ready. We're in the greatest conference in America and the toughest conference in America. And we play, mainly all Alabama junior colleges, and then Jackson State up in Tennessee, Jackson State and Bevel State and Alabama both have new coaches this year. And it's going to be exciting for their programs coming in with new coaches, to play them, be a little mystery there. And then we play the perennial powerhouses, MMI, Sneeze State, Wallace State's always ranked in the top 20. So those teams are really good at getting us, within 3 hours of campus, they really get us ready for our tough conference leading into the conference play.
All right, well, let's talk about that conference play. We know there's always the tough games there. You have some that you circle, but we ain't necessarily got to mention what one you circle. But yeah. Talk about some of those conference games that you are looking forward to and to seeing how your girls are going to respond.
Yeah, this year, the schedule we had 2 years ago has changed up a little bit of when you play each other, but it's all the same road games. We're going to have to be road warriors. We have the longest trips that we have. I mean, our administration looked at it, and it's just crazy that we got to go to Gulf Coast, to Pearl River, to Jones, to Hines, to Meridian, to Holmes, who is our furthest north school. I mean, we stay on the road northwest. I mean, we are just going to be on the road with some really good programs. I mean, we got some good teams coming to our place as well. But it's hard to sweep on the road. It's hard to split on the road when I got their local umpires and a lot of things against you. So our team's going to grow up really fast, and we start conference play right there at the start of March. So it's going to be a tough 28-game schedule like it is every year.
Okay, now some of the games that you do have on the schedule are some of your special series you have every year with breast cancer awareness, ovarian cancer, and of course sophomore day. But talk a bit about those series, the opponents, and what it means to both squads when they hit the field those days.
Yeah, when we have our breast cancer and ovarian cancer, I mean, it's just a special, to raise awareness. Both teams always buy in. You always have a lot of, we'll have people come back out who are survivors or in memory of people who might have passed away, just to raise awareness, just to, get some people to donate some money and keep it in the forefront for everybody to know about and not forget about, because cancer is going to affect everybody at some point in their life, either personally or somebody in their family or friends. And then those are just two, coaching female sport that really, hit high. They're in the top 5 cancers for females.
Now, that breast cancer awareness series will be March 31st against Mississippi Delta here, and then the ovarian cancer awareness series will be on April 6th against Northeast. Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about that rivalry there, since it's going to be on a special day as well. Talk about that rivalry between you guys in Northeast and what that means to your program.
Yeah, Northeast. I mean, Coach Long and I, we've known each other 40 years, and it's 50 miles separate us, but we're backdoor neighbors. We get after each other, and then having something to, really take you guys do a great job, and I know their their sports information does a great job of getting it out there and exposing it, and just ovarian cancer came really to the forefront with Mississippi State getting it going, everybody taking the challenge like we did a few years ago, and just keeping it in the forefront in everybody's mind.
All right, Coach. Well, just one last thing here. Just you talked about those road trips. Got to be the road warriors. You got to win at home, of course. But just talk about some of those road trips and how you are going to prepare your girls to get ready to play after being on the bus for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like we're going 30 minutes down the road to play at Tupelo. That's what we talk about all the time. And we took a few trips, the 2-hour range during the fall to try to get ready. But when you got 2 trips where we'll go spend overnight. They have to mature really quick. Luckily we got a good group of sophomores. They will, help with the freshmen on how to travel, how to prepare, and it's not a vacation that we're going on a business trip. And the last couple of years we've been very successful as far as we're the only Mad Jack team in softball that's not been swept in conference play. And that's just some stability, and that's a record I know they want to keep going this year, is trying to at least get a split on the road, sweep at home. It's kind of the formula everybody uses. But in our conference, I mean, there's so many good teams. You're just trying to battle every day.
Okay, well, I lied. I said one last thing, but you touched on those sophomores. I'd like for you to touch on them a little bit. Just talk about some of them sophomores meant to you last year's freshmen and what you expect out of them this season.
We have a great core coming back. I mean, of course, you lose your career wins. Olivia Burns broke every one of our pitching records last year. But we got Kaylee Nelson and Mary Kate Butler from Pontotoc there. They're coming back as 2 of our pitchers, and they've done a great job this fall as far as just stabilizing the bullpen and helping some of the younger pitchers come in and get ready. And we're expecting great things out of those 2. Then you come back with, Maddie Miney was an All-American shortstop for us last year, second in the country in stolen bases. She's our catalyst at the top of the lineup, gets everything going for us. And then Hope Harbin, I thought was probably our most improved player last year from the start of the season to the end. She's a center fielder from Caledonia, and we expect her to have a great sophomore year. Summer Crowder from Morville led us in home runs, was right up there at the top RBIs, a lot of big hits. She plays third base, and we expect big things out of her RBI-wise. And then Jessica Davis will be coming in from the outfield to play second base for us this year. So, we got some others besides those, but that's kind of our core coming back from last year. They got a lot of playing time, and we're expecting a lot of things out of it.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for your time, and we look forward to the season.
Thank you, guys. Roll Tribe.
Brought to you by Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. Learn more at renaissancebank.com.
Well, Rick, baseball season, it'll be here before you know it. Coming off at just one of the best seasons ever at ICC. You had won the state championship, hosted the region tournament, finished number 2 in the country. Just kind of reflect back real quick over last season.
Yeah, that was a great year. We've had a couple other years, several years that get close to that, but I think we were 42-8. An exceptional group. I mean, that group of guys spoil a coach. They took care of their business. I mean, went to class and great grades, and winning 41 ball games, winning another state championship for us. It's just a great year, and it all about them. And when you get a good group of guys and they all gel like that and believe in one another and take care of their business, it always works out like that. Those other state championships we got, they were good groups, and everybody bought in and just had a great year.
Well, Rick, you talk about those group of guys. We'll eventually focus on this year's team, but you can only put 9 on the field, and you had 5 or 6 that went Division I, so that talks about the type of talent you had. Other guys also signing scholarships as well. So let's just talk about that. You're losing a lot of really good baseball players, some of them the SEC, other schools like that, but you got a lot of shoes to fill this year as well.
Yes, it's going to be a young group out there this time. We'll have 2 starting guys back. Our center fielder will he'll move from right field and go to center. That's Lane Domino, and our shortstop's back, Brett Coker. But we lost all those other guys. We lost our top 4 arms in the rotation. We lost Hootie to Mississippi State, and Medlin to Middle Tennessee State, and Krieger went to La Tech, and Lancaster went to Missouri, and our catcher went to Ole Miss. And then Medlin was our everyday first baseman, except when he wasn't pitching, and Krieger was our second baseman. So, LB went to Mississippi College out in left field. Russell's now going to Mississippi State. We got a lot of shoes to fill, and thing about it is we try to keep it rolling here. We got a good group. We got a good, talented group. They playing hard. Had a great fall. We were 6-2 in the fall and scored a lot of runs, and that's about junior college. You're gonna have to replace them. This is my 22nd year to be here, and 18th as the head coach, and been down this road before, and we're just working hard, and we're going to try and get this team rolling also.
Well, Rick, you talk about that. You've been here 22 years, 18 as head coach. What keeps that fire lit in you to come back and just – it's something about it. When baseball season gets here, man, life is good.
Yes, it's competition. It's challenges. It's another challenge. When you got 20 new guys on your roster and kind of got off sync with some injuries and some red shirts and some things like that, your idea, you'd like to have 14 and 14 or 15 and 15, but we're at 20 freshmen. But it's a good challenge. I mean, it's fun to watch them get better, develop, weight room, long toss programs, and it's obvious our guys get better. We've had 33 SEC signees out of here in my time as head coach, and 6 or 7 drafted, and not counting the other great schools that these guys have gone to. I'm up over 250 guys going to 4-year schools out of here, and we just work hard, and and the guys got to buy into it. That special group of guys come in and they see how it helps them to work. It's just a challenge. I love it, and I'm starting to get energized again after this Christmas break, and we'll get after it again. But there's a lot of work already going into it since they got here in August.
Well, you talk about the challenges, and this year that schedule is going to be another tough challenge, and that's what you do. You challenge yourself outside of division, because once you step inside the division play, MACJC baseball, everybody talks about how tough football is. Baseball, I think, is equally, if not a little bit more tough.
Yes, you get in that MACJC now, you can get beat any day. And you got to come out playing your best every day. You can't take anybody for granted. I tell my guys, don't even worry about who's got a uniform on the other side. Just play every day, and it's a marathon. It's not a race. You got to run it. You got to go. It's 28 games, and it's just tough. It's relentless. You got to play hard and do well every day.
Well, Rick, anything else you want to add maybe to the fans that getting ready for the baseball season, and just kind of fire them up, get excited with you and to be here before we know it?
Oh, yes. It's come on out opening day, and we'll have a great time. It's come watch a good group. I can't tell you right now who's going to be the starters. We'll be mixing and matching early, and same way with the pitching. We got a lot of good names out there that did well in high school, and it'll be exciting watching them develop and mature as a junior college baseball player.
Well, Rick, appreciate you taking time out of the day to talk to us, my man.
Thank you.
Brought to you by Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. Learn more at renaissancebank.com.
At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here. Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast Games, food and drink will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039.